Salutations!
Sup, my doggies!
The first lesson of economics is that everyone always makes the most rational and best decision for their self-interest. The first lesson of business is to disregard the first lesson of economics. Now, what do I mean by this?
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it then?
Economics, you do what's best for you. In business, you gotta do what's best for the consumer so that they buy your stuff.
Okay.
Don't give me that
maybe
face.
Not necessarily what's the best
don't
for the
give me
consumer.
that face.
What face?
That bombastic side eye that you just gave me. Like I said something crazy right there. I'm just saying that God forbid to do business you think about the consumer. Yeah.
What do you mean by...
You were like, ooh, big crazy speech. Economics, you do what's best for you. Self-preservation, each to their own. I'm one for myself and me only. Economics, do what's best for you. But then you were like, business is opposite. Best for consumer, ? It's not what best for me. Which is dumb because businesses always do what's best for them. I think the rule is that both are just, I'm going to do what's best for me.
I don't think you fully understood what I was talking about.
And maybe I didn't. And you know what? That's fine.
Now that you explained it.
You all didn't either, probably.
Now that I explained it a bit further, it sounds like you have absolutely no idea what I just said.
You didn't explain anything further.
Well, you explained what you... Okay, so the assumption in economics, right, is that everyone is rational. But in business, right, you disregard that assumption and you say, actually, people are not rational and we can make people make decisions that aren't necessarily the best for them, but make us more money.
I did not get any of that out of what you said.
So then,
that makes sense, though.
So then my side eye was completely justified.
Not when you said what you said.
So that's the assumption, is that everyone is rational, right? And
logic.
Everyone is perfectly logical. And so I think, and you watch The Good Place, Chidi is the best example of someone who is supposedly perfectly rational, right? He is always making and considering every single factor when it comes to making every single decision.
He tries to be.
Well, yeah. And so the whole point of illustrating Chidi in that way, and I'm glad you're saying it, is that no one can or should do what Chidi is doing, right? Because he's stressing himself out and he's miserable because he's got to stress over every single thing that happens in his life.
And you know what? He shouldn't be doing that.
But yeah, if you were to really try to consider every single thing and always, just buy the best possible product that will give you the most possible benefit and really just make the most logical choices, you're going to end up really miserable.
30 minutes, Chidi? We've been trying to pick a bar for 30 minutes. It is literally impossible to be your friend. You're incapable of making a single decision.
Look, I know I can be indecisive, but what's the harm in taking a few extra minutes to find the perfect...
We can't, in our day-to-day lives, we can't consider every single factor when you're making a choice.
Yeah.
Right? And so here's some ways.
Optimize that brain usage.
Here's some situations, some case studies for when.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Here's some case studies for when you might not be able to make the best decision. Where there's like a salesperson that's like with you from the moment you walk into the store. You got a little pressure.
Apple
right?
store.
You have a little bit of pressure from that salesperson to be quick, to make your decision quickly and to buy the thing. If you're spending like hours there and you don't buy anything, like that's, you don't want to be like an asshole.
Yeah, because you don't want to look like an idiot, like you don't know what you're getting.
Exactly. So you want to look smart to the salesperson. You don't want to waste their time, and so there's that pressure. And so the example I have here is like when you're buying a car, right? You just sign the deal. You're like, okay, fine, I'll just sign it. Because you've been there for hours and they're like, okay, just sign it,
Yeah.
So that's what we would call, in the economics world, bounded rationalities, where you don't have enough time or you don't have enough information to make the perfect decision.
Mm-hmm.
Case study number 2.
Dose.
Yeah. Is TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, right? All of these.
Influencers.
Yeah, so when you're watching...
Stop giving me bombastic side-eye.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
You absolutely...
I can't help it.
Everyone has a choice. No one deserves this.
Well, actually, this goes rightly into the next one. It's bounded self-control. Just like how I can't control when I'm giving you bombastic side-eye. You may not be able to control how much time you're spending on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, and all of these Shorts things, because they're designed to be addictive. They're designed to give you that dopamine hit when you scroll and to build that behavior. And so a lot of us, we can't control our screen time. We end up spending so much more time on those apps, right, than we would have actually wanted to. And that's what we call, in the economics world, bounded self-control.
You know what I call that?
What?
Get some willpower. Because if you try, go into your settings and limit your time to like a couple hours. I guarantee you you'll be fine. And then once you do that, it's like, okay.
Well,
self-control.
Sure.
Did these economics know anything about self-control?
But this is the same logic. And I'm using TikTok because it's an example that, is very close to your heart. YouTube Shorts is very close to my heart.
I do
because
love
I
TikToks.
waste so much time on YouTube Shorts for absolutely no reason whatsoever. But it's the same thing with video games, with those microtransactions. It's the same thing with
that's
alcohol.
how they get you.
Alcohol and like we're watching Breaking Bad right now. Meth.
Jocelyn. No, but that's how they get you. Those microtransactions. In video games, that's how they get you.
Bounded self-control, right?
That's how they get you.
So, case study number 3. Yeah. When you go to a store and you see on like a packaging, it's like 100% recyclable.
Oh yeah, when they
or
tell you something.
Made from 100% recyclable ingredients.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
That's
okay.
nice.
Well, if it's recyclable, I guess it's fine. Right?
Yeah.
I can spend like an extra 50 cents. I can spend an extra $1 if for something that's recyclable.
Standout factor.
But that, first of all, might not actually be recyclable. Because I don't remember exactly what this was. And I don't know if this was fake news.
They're lying?
But there was one time where on like a piece of clothing on the tag, it said like made from 100% recyclable materials. And they were talking about the tag.
That's true.
Someone needs to fact check this.
So
I'm not sure if this is
scummy.
misinformation because I couldn't find it like, I couldn't like.
You just saw it in a
source
YouTube reel.
I will try and cite this if I can.
That's so actually crazy.
But also like recyclable bottles, so you might pay more for that. We care about the environment.
We do.
We care about other people.
Yeah.
And
have some empathy, why don't you?
And that's what in the economics world we call bounded selfishness. So not everyone is perfectly selfish, which is something that we assume that they are in economics.
Yeah.
And those are the 3 case studies I have. Those are the 3 boundeds. You're the three bondages of human existence.
Bondages.
Next time, we will talk about the really sneaky ways that companies engineer your choice so that when you go into their shop or their whatever, you're not even making that decision yourself.
Oh my God, did they ever try and do that?
They're playing God, is what I'm saying.
And you know what's sad is they really do think that they are. They go, I know that you're going to buy my car over this car.